We received a letter inviting us to put forward our credentials. It was quite mysterious. We turned up at Disney, not knowing why they wanted to meet us or what we were going to be working on. They explained that they were about to embark on a new resort in Shanghai, China. And the Imagineers wanted to talk to us about designing one of the main zones found in all their resorts, Tomorrowland. They had decided to explore collaborating to see how that meeting of minds might create something fresh and a new approach. Working together, we came up with this idea that just doesn't exist anywhere else in their various Disney resorts.
Tomorrowland has always been the project that is meant to speak with optimism about the future. So its very origins begin with Walt Disney himself thinking about space exploration and the promise of technology.
Visions of the future have clearly changed since Walt Disney's day, and we were asked to explore a completely new vision.
This project was a blank sheet of paper to redefine what Tomorrowland could be. And the opportunities were endless, going to especially a city like Shanghai, a city of the future concept set in a city of the future.
Something that we as a team have always been conscious of is where are we building this? And how do we bring this to life in a way that the Chinese people, this culture, are going to embrace this as their own?
One of our sources of inspiration for Tomorrowland in Shanghai was very much looking at Chinese traditions in landscape painting or in garden design.
So from the very earliest meetings that we had, we started to think about this idea of a harmonious relationship between the architecture and between the landscape. And in that combination, creating a sense of journey and creating this sense of not revealing everything all at once, using the architecture to frame very particular views.
So we came up with this idea of creating a kind of topography, if you like, a three-dimensional form where we would have ramps and stairs, where movement through the park became almost an experience in its own right.
This is really the first multi-level space in any Disney park, truly multi-level space. And when you look at audiences coming in, you see them up on the balcony looking down and down below looking up and seeing the characters coming in and out. The whole land is a piece of theater.
The Grimshaw team on Tomorrowland often describe the work that we've been involved in as the spaces in between. So everything to do with areas for queuing, areas for respite, those have been the elements that we focused on.
At its core, it was about creating a comfortable environment for guests that was also entertaining. So creating something that when it rained in Shanghai, it would be an amazing place to be.
The concourse itself, it's an elevated walkway. The curved geometry is kind of create a very complex, intricate approach to the park. So sometimes there's a spiral stair descending down. Every step is a discovery.
The diversity of material choices, the actual patterning as you got closer to things. We had a plan that the deeper you got into the story, the closer you got up to these surfaces, the more story we wanted to tell.
We tried to reveal each part of the Tomorrowland piece by piece.
Clearly, the centerpiece is that very lightweight structure and the ETFE foil roof. And through this came the idea of actually also, wouldn't it be exciting if the ride explodes out and flies through the roof structure? While people are exploring and enjoying the park, the ride can actually go over them. And so there's this intermingling.
One of the areas that technology really played a part was in the complexity of the forms and the shapes that had to be developed.
We developed quite a sophisticated three-dimensional model of all the master plan. And then Disney took our model and, using high-definition projectors, could actually go inside and explore it.
We were really excited to walk through these spaces virtually years before we had ever built anything, so we knew what we were building was perfect.
By going into 3D immediately, by doing the rides in 3D, by doing the architecture in 3D. We were able to work and collaborate in a far more efficient, far more fruitful way than we ever probably could have in previous times.
Working with Grimshaw was a fun dynamic that allowed us to explore new terrain for both of us.
This collaboration did create something beyond what we both brought to it. It really added up to something very special.
I think there was a dialogue that went on over the years of how can we push the storytelling, push the architecture, and we really pushed each other.
And the really enjoyable thing with working with something like Disney is they're there to basically make a lot of people very happy. So ultimately you're trying to create uplifting pieces of architecture that create an amazing day. So that's a nice commission, isn't it?